Hello, Cancer. This is Citrina, and this is your July 2018 astrology forecast. So, we are going to get right into it because we have a lot of things going on this month. I want to start off with the new moon, which is going to be a partial solar eclipse in your sign. So, we have a new moon in Cancer, which is a partial solar eclipse in your sign on July 12th. Now, and for you, it falls in your first house. Now, a little bit of information about solar eclipses. A solar eclipse happens when the moon is between the sun and the earth. And it's normally a time of transformation. It's a time of taking action on the transformation that you want to see happen. Now, with this partial solar eclipse, it is in opposition to Pluto. So during this time, you can expect to see some drama or crisis almost happen. It looks like you will avoid it, but it looks like you will see something about to happen, but then it will just pass off. Now, most people will feel this energy. However, Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn will feel this the most. Now, with this partial solar eclipse, it can affect you for the next 6 months. And it's also a preview of what you can expect next year. So that's just something to keep in mind. Also, consider this a gift. Consider this a gift from the universe. Even though it might not feel like a gift when you're going through, any type of drama surrounding this eclipse, it is a gift. And why do I say it's a gift? Because sometimes in life, there are things we know we need to let go of. And we're just not, or not even let go of. Sometimes there's things we know we need to do. And the only way we will do them is if we're forced to do them sometimes. So that's what I think about when I think about eclipses. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Now, I will pull one card to see what you need to concentrate on at this new moon in Cancer. Oh, that one just fell out. Passion ignited fell out for you. So, at this new moon, there might be some idea you come up with. I'm just going to pause this because my son and his friends are just getting so loud. One moment. I'm back. It's summertime, house full of kids, things of that nature. Everybody's having a great time. So, okay, yeah. So you might come up with an idea for something and you would just be very passionate about it at this new moon. So this is what you need to concentrate on at the new moon, Cancer. I'll just pull another card because that one just fell out. I'm just going to pull another one for you. Intuition. Okay. So number 1, your passion is ignited. And then number 2, follow your intuition. So at this new moon, this is what you need to concentrate on. Number 1, the fact that your passion is ignited about something. And then number 2, following your intuition on that hunch, that feeling, that idea. Follow your intuition on it, Cancer. Now, let's keep moving on. Okay, we've talked about the new moon. So let's move on. Let's talk about Mercury. Because Mercury will be retrograde. It goes retrograde on July 26th. And it will be retrograde until August 18th. Now, when Mercury is retrograde, this is not a time to sign contracts. It's not a time to plan travel. It's not a time to buy technology. It's best to do those things before Mercury goes retrograde or after Mercury is out of retrograde period. And now, if you have travel planned that's already booked, you can still, travel. But as far as trying to book anything, if you try to book travel during this time, I'm not saying you will have problems, but more than likely you'll run into some type of delay or just some type of snag in your plans. So remember that Mercury is going to be in Leo all month, and it does go retrograde on July 26th. And I did talk about the energy of Mercury in Leo last month. So let's keep moving on. Venus is going to be in Leo until July 10th, and then it goes into Virgo on July 10th. So the energy of Venus in Leo is very different from the energy of Venus in Virgo. Now for you, Venus in Leo is in your house 2, dealing with material possessions, and then Venus in Virgo is in your house 3, dealing with your communications, siblings, neighbors, short distance travel, things of that nature. So if you're dating a Cancer and you want to impress them, take them on a weekend trip away. It doesn't even have to be a weekend trip. Just maybe there's a place an hour away from where you live. You can take them on this short distance trip, because what's happening is, for Cancers, Venus is in Virgo in their 3rd house. The 3rd house deals with short distance trips. It deals with siblings, neighbors. It deals with communication. So if you want to impress a Cancer this month while Venus is in Virgo, make sure that your speech is appealing, and also try to take them on a little weekend trip. It doesn't even have to be a getaway. It can be somewhere that you go for, that's maybe an hour away. You can go there, spend the day there, and then drive back. What's happening is that the energy of Venus in Virgo is like an analytical energy. So this is a time when, if you're dating someone, they're sitting back observing you in the area where Venus in Virgo falls. And for Cancers, Venus in Virgo falls in short distance trips, in the area dealing with short distance trips, siblings, neighbors, communications. So Cancers are going to be observing how is your speech, how do you treat your siblings, how do you treat your neighbors, okay? And they will be impressed by short distance travel this month. Okay, so if you are dating a Cancer, that's one thing that will impress them this month. Okay, now if you are a Cancer, these are the things that you will be analyzing in the person that you're dating. You will be looking at, how do they speak? How do they treat their siblings? How do they treat their neighbors? Okay, can I have fun with them on a short distance trip? Things of that nature. So that's the Venus in Virgo energy. Let's compare it to the Venus in Leo energy. Venus in Leo is about splurging, okay? It's about shopping and not worrying about how much something costs. It's about eating at the fancy restaurants. Venus in Virgo is more of a frugal energy, and it's more of an observant energy also. Venus is in Virgo. As long as somebody is giving you what you want, Venus in Leo, as long as somebody is giving you what you want, you're not too much worried about, what they're talking about or anything like that, how they're treating their brothers and sisters. You're not worried about that. You're just worried about having fun and splurging when Venus is in Leo. When Venus is in Virgo, you're more observant. So Venus in Leo is a great time to go on first dates, things of that nature. Venus in Virgo is great to go on dates when you're thinking about getting serious with someone. Okay, so just keep that in mind, Cancer. Let's look at Mars. Mars is still retrograde, and it will be retrograde until August 26th. For you, it falls in your 8th house. The 8th house deals with transformation. It deals with other people's money. It deals with shared resources. So you'll be thinking about those topics, but you really won't be taking any action on those topics while Mars is retrograde. Now, Jupiter goes direct on July 10th. For you, Jupiter is in your 5th house of fun and creativity. So all of the fun that you've been thinking about having and planning, you will see those start to come up and those things start to happen in your life when Jupiter goes direct. So that's great. Now, the sun will be in Cancer until July 22nd. And then as of the 22nd, we can start telling our Leo friends happy birthday because it will be Leo season. It's a great time. Now, a major happening is the sun squaring Uranus. This is going to happen on July 25th. Okay. For you, this is happening you have the sun in Leo in your material possessions house, and then you have Uranus in Taurus in your 11th house dealing with friends. So around this time, you will hear unexpected news surrounding those two areas. So, you know, we always hope that it's good news, but the fact that it's squaring, it could be some challenging news. Now, for you, you might hear some news such as, let's see, house 2 and house 11, dealing with friends, dealing with money. For you, you might hear about a friend winning the lottery. That's one good thing you might hear. Or you might hear that one of your friends is being sued. You might hear that one of your friends gets robbed, or maybe if you maybe your friend will surprise you and pay you back some money they owe you. Things of that nature. It could be about anything, but because of the houses where these fall in your chart, it more than likely will be related to your friends and money. Okay. You can expect to hear unexpected news on July 25th. It could happen a few days before then or a few days after then. But you can definitely expect to hear some unexpected news. And let's just hope it's good news, okay? Let's keep moving on because we have a full moon, which is a total lunar eclipse. So it's not just a regular full moon. This is like a full moon on steroids. It's a total lunar eclipse. Now, this is a little bit of information about lunar eclipses. A lunar eclipse happens when the Earth is between the sun and the moon. Okay, so that's just for you visual or scientific people out there. Now, this is a time where secrets come out. It's a time where things are eclipsed out of your life. Just remember to remain calm during this time period, because this can be an emotionally charged time for a lot of people. Now, a lot of people will feel the energy from this transit. However, Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius will feel it the most. Okay, remember, it's going to be an emotionally charged area. And then the fact that Mars is there. Mars is in Aquarius with this full moon. Even though it's retrograde, it's still Mars. It can still bring out anger in people. So just keep that in mind. Okay. And okay, I already talked about the new moon. Now what I want to talk about is two different groups, two major groups that are going on this month. I've already mentioned them here, but I just want to talk about them together now. The first group is what I'm calling the Take Action group, or the Take Action gang this month. That is Jupiter going direct in Scorpio on July 10th. And the other one is the new moon in Cancer on July 12th. I'm grouping those two together. Why? Because they both are all about action. It's about making things happen. Jupiter expands wherever it touches, and then the new moon, by it being a partial solar eclipse, is all about action, transformation. So whatever is going on, those two are going to almost work together to make things happen. For you, Jupiter in Scorpio is in house 5, dealing with fun, creativity, romance. And then the new moon, the new moon is going to be in Cancer in your first house. So you might see some action about, you might start having a lot of fun during this transit. Or you might have a lot of romance during this transit. You might even become pregnant. Some of you will become pregnant during this transit, or find out that you are pregnant during this transit, because the 5th house does deal with kids. So if you've been thinking about having children, this is the transit where you will actually conceive. So that's the first group. Now the second group I want to talk about, I'm calling this group the emotional gang. Okay? Why? Let's check it out. First of all, we have the sun going into Leo on July 22nd. And we all know Leos are dramatic. They can be dramatic. I'm a Leo myself, so I'm not talking about them behind their back, okay? So we have the sun going into Leo, dramatic. The sun square Uranus, unexpected news. Mercury retrograde in Leo, everything going haywire with your technology, miscommunication. You thought you sent an email and you realize I didn't press send, and everybody's calling you like, where's the email you were supposed to send? You forgot to send it. You typed it up, you spent time on it, and you forgot to press send. Okay? So let's keep going. Sun in Leo, all about drama. Not all the time, but pretty much. Sun in Leo, drama. Sun square Uranus, unexpected news. Mercury retrograde, so a lot of things going haywire. Full moon, along with Mars in Aquarius, July 27th. Emotional happenings. Okay? Again, Sun in Leo, July 22nd. It's about drama. Sun square Uranus, unexpected news. Mercury retrograde in Leo, July 26th. Full moon total lunar eclipse in Aquarius, July 27th. And it's with Mars in Aquarius. And remember, just because Mars is retrograde, don't think that it doesn't have the characteristics of Mars, okay? And the story I've been giving is about the vicious dog. I'm comparing Mars to a vicious dog this month. Have you ever had a vicious dog in the neighborhood that every time you're walking past the gate, it's just barking and trying to jump over the gate to get to you? And let's say one day you're walking past the gate and it doesn't bark, and you feel like, oh, I can reach my hands out and pet him today because he's not barking. And you reach your hand out to pet the dog, and guess what? He bites you because it's still a vicious dog, even though he wasn't barking. That's the same thing with Mars. Even though Mars is retrograde, it's still Mars. And Mars can bring out anger in people. So just keep that in mind, because we have a lot of emotional things going on with this emotional gang at the end of the month. Now, one thing that is helping everyone to get through this emotional period is that we have Uranus and Saturn in a great connection to one another that's helping us out. And the last thing I want to mention is that we do have Venus forming a bond with Pluto. Now, they're both in earth signs, so that's going to help keep us grounded with any type of drama or emotions going on this month, okay? So that's something good. Now, for you, Venus is in your 3rd house of communications, siblings, short distance travel, and then we have Pluto in your partnership house. So that's really great for you, Cancer. So this has been your July 2018 astrology forecast. Please like this video, share the video, and subscribe to the channel. I greatly appreciate it. And until next month, Cancer, have a great month.